Good day, good people. How y'all doing? Come on in the room. Come on, join, like, share, add. You want to be on live for me to ask some questions for you in regards to your dating experience or whatever the topic is we're talking about. Go ahead and send a request to come online. I'm going to go ahead and invite some people. So just hold fast for a second. I hope y'all day is going well today. Sorry, I feel like I'm losing my voice. So just a real quick disclaimer. I'm waiting on UPS to call me back. So I was trying to use my other phone to get on the live, but that is dead. So I'm charging it now. But I'm most likely take the call and just hop back on live after I get off the phone with UPS. Because they are tripping. Anyway, so today's topic is what version of yourself shows up in today's society. And what made me ask that question is because I'm going to share a few books with you that I read. So that question came from me reading this book here. It's a really good book by Viola Davis called Finding Yourself. The reason why I posed that question, excuse me, y'all, because in the first 5 to 6 pages of me reading this book, it really had me reflect on the things that I have been through in my life, especially childhood, and how that affected me. She did an interview with Will Smith, or Will Smith had interviewed her and asked, "Who are you?" And she was like, "I'm Viola Davis. You don't know who I am?" And he asked her again, like, "Who are you?" And so it was a question that took in her back, like, who are you? Who are you showing up in today? Who's your representative when showing up in the world today? And I was like, dang, that's a really deep question. So my question today comes from this book. Question I got, dang, what version of Rika is showing up today? And I definitely want to go further in details in regards to that question, and I'll give y'all an answer. Like I said, UPS is supposed to be calling me back because these mofos didn't deliver my package like they were supposed to yesterday, and I'm waiting for a supervisor to call me back. I'm so upset with UPS. So if they call, I'm going to take the call and I'll hop back on Facebook Live. Another good book I think to have in your repertoire is 5 Love Languages. This will able to not only for you to realize what your 5 love languages are, but also how you give love or how you show your love or appreciation to someone else. So this is a good one to have for 2023 going forward. Another good book to read, as y'all can see I'm a bookworm. Another good book to read is Emotional Intelligence, to learn your emotional intelligence. One thing I spoke about last week is that 80s babies, I don't know about generations before me, but I wasn't allowed the space to share my emotions as a child, let alone put words with my emotions. And so I'm at 41, I'm learning to do that. And so I actually got this book from work, from doing a class. This book has helped me bring some light to my emotions. Anyway, so what version of yourself is showing up in today's society? And what I mean by that is we all have, not all, but most of us have gone through something in our childhood that caused an experience that may have caused trauma. And with me personally, as a child, I experienced what I will call multiple things, but I'm going to talk about this particular one, and it is abandonment. I dealt with abandonment and felt abandonment from my father. And for the longest time, I resented him. I hated him. I disliked him. I despised him. I didn't respect him because I'm like, how can you leave your daughter? How can you leave your girl and not explain why? And as I got older, I realized how, when I look back now into the past relationships that I've been at, I will go into relationship as an abandoned child, as that abandoned 5-year-old, 6-year-old So that's what I mean when I say, what version of yourself is showing up in today's society? For the longest time, my 5-6-year-old self who felt abandoned by her father was showing up in society. My relationship with males were determined off of that abandonment as a child. So that is to give you an example what I mean in regards to posing this question. What version of yourself is showing up to today's society? Because I was showing up in today's society as a 5- and 6-year-old girl who was abandoned, who felt abandoned by her father, I realized I chose a lot of men who were emotionally unavailable. I chose men who did not know how to show up for their responsibilities, who were not in their children's life, who were players, who were not able to commit. I was drawn to that because it was a I was familiar with it. Excuse my language. I was familiar with it, so I was gravitated towards it, even though to a certain extent they were able to give me something that 5- and 6-year-old child looked for, which was a father figure, which was a protector and a provider in a sense. And then the other part that was attracting was the players, was the same type of person that I knew my father to be, which was a player, a man that ran from his responsibilities, a man that didn't take care of his own children. And this is my own personal experience. This is my truth. And if you don't accept it, that's completely fine. This is not your experience. This is not your truth. This is mine. So that's the lens that I recognize I was operating out of when dating and choosing and picking certain men, because I never knew or never seen what a man truly was supposed to be, what position and what role he was supposed to play in my life. So I only chose what I knew, which was a father that abandoned his children. Me particularly, a man that was not responsible, a man that ran away from responsibilities. And of course that caused me to be hurt. Of course that caused me to be in bad relationships, make poor choices. And again, I looked for validation in these men because I did not have validation from my father. And so I ask you all that's watching, now that you've heard that example, what version of yourself is showing up in today's society? Have you done the work to heal and even recognize what version of you is showing up? Have you even done the work to even recognize you are or you were abandoned as a child, or you was molested as a child? Whatever your case may be, mine is all of the above. I have learned that I was operating out of that lens. And so for me, I'm not a person that likes small talk. I can't stand small talk. For me, I'm like, why are you in my space? Why are you invading my space? I need to know your reason right then and there. I just don't like small talk, small little questions. Especially, I'm realizing that more and more in dating, like, okay, let's get over to small talk. What are your true intentions? What do you truly want to know about me and why? Like, get to your point. Don't talk to me about no weather. Don't talk to me about what is your point. And so I noticed that also comes from my space being invaded. I don't like a lot of people in my space. I really don't like anybody in my space. And if it is, I need to know right away what is the reasoning. But that also comes from, as a young child, my personal space was invaded. It was taken away from me. So yeah, I don't like people who are very invasive. I don't like people who are aggressive, especially men. I don't like men who are aggressive because of those reasons. So because of my early childhood experience, those have been the conditioning of my mind or how I show up. So for the longest time, I have showed up as a 5 or 6-year-old child who was molested and abandoned by her father. So that comes with a lot of needing a validation, to be seen, to be heard. I spoke about last week when I was talking about 80s babies. A lot of the 80 babies that I know, I'm not going to speak for all, we wasn't allowed the space to hold our emotions, let alone express our emotions. So as an adult, it took me the longest time to realize, why are you so angry? Why are you so frustrated? And it's because I didn't have a voice as a kid. It's like I have all these pent up things and emotions inside of me, and they come out as rage or angry. And it's like, that's true, but it's not true. It goes deeper than that. So I pose that question to allow you all to reflect and do the work it takes to know, who are you showing up as today and why? And how has that affected your life and your relationships? Hey, Amber. Hey, JB. Thanks for joining today. How y'all doing? So, that's why I posed that question, and that's why I gave you all an example, because the whole point of this podcast and platform is to bring self-awareness to people so that you can heal, so that you can do the work to heal. I'm a person that always strives to be a better person. I'm definitely a person that's self-aware. I know what's wrong with me. I know my flaws. I'm working on them. I'm fixing them. And that's why I like doing a lot of self-help, or not doing. I like reading a lot of self-help books. I didn't know this book was going to help me a lot. Like I said, the first 5-6 pages of this book really caused me to be like, you got more work to do. We all have work to do. Nobody human in human form will be perfect. We can strive to be great and be better, but no one in this world can be perfect. It's impossible because we're flesh. But in reading this book, Viola Davis, she was showing up as a fighter. She always fought because she was bullied. She was very poor, so she was used to the worst of situations. So that gave her the juice to really try anything and be like, if I fail, I fail. It can't get no worse than what I've come from in life. Like, she've experienced her daddy beating the brakes off her mom to her head would bleed, wide open, or he busted her head wide open, or he tried to cut her leg off. Can you imagine being a child and seeing these things? And how it will shape your perspective on how to look and trust and interact with people. I'm just mind blown. Like, the things I've been through in this life is nowhere compared to Viola Davis. But it also shows me the little girl in her who was a fighter. The reason why she was able to survive so much is because she was such a fighter at a young age. And so reading this book really allowed me to reflect and ask the question of, what version of myself is showing up to today's society? And yeah, the 5 and 6 year old girl, me, is still showing up in today. And I have to realize, the more that I heal as a woman, then I can take her hand. I can take her hand. I can give her validation. I can show her which way to go, which way not to go, which people to trust, what people not to trust, what to look for, those things, so she can feel safe, so she can feel that validated, so that she can grow up. I can't remember what psychology book I read. It says something like, when you're traumatized at whatever age, you're stuck at that age. So if you're molested at the age 9, you're going to grow up being stuck in the age 9 for the rest of your life until you deal with that thing. And that was mind blowing for me, because I'm like, I don't want to be stuck anymore. I don't want to be stuck as a 5 or 6 year old little girl seeking validation from the opposite sex, or even the woman, to be honest with you. I grew up in a single parent household where my mother worked 2 or 3 jobs because she had to. She had to make sure we sustained and made it through. However, she was an unavailable emotional mother. Did I say that right? She was unavailable emotionally. She was a provider, so she showed me how to be a provider. She showed me how to maintain a home. She showed me how to work and grind. And that's why I do so many things to have income, residual income for my family. I know how to provide. I know how to sustain a household. But as far as being emotional, I'm still learning how to do that. I'm still learning how to do that for myself, let alone my children. And it's a challenge, because if you're raised not seeing, not having examples, it's challenging to be able to do those things in life. So this book has really caused me to do a lot of reflecting of, how am I showing up? How does other people view me? You know, what do they see the 5 and 6 year old girl in me? I'm sure the ones that are close to me do see it. But I'm just trying to walk this life, as healed as I can be. As most of y'all know, I'm single, I'm out here dating, and I'm honestly just trying to be a better version of myself. So when my Boaz come, there's not a lot of baggage to go through. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do the work that it takes to be a better person myself. So whenever that person comes along, we good. There's not going to be hindrance because there's stuff I still got to work on. And I pray for God that he is doing the same work to heal and become awareness of himself, of his triggers, and XYZ. So that's all I really wanted to come on here and talk about today. I know I kind of felt it was going to be a loner episode today, and that's completely fine because, again, this platform is to help people heal. As I get revelation, as I heal, I want to share that revelation with other people, also those tools with people so they can heal. I remember a few years ago, one of my prayers was, God, please give me self-awareness, because I'm not so much aware of myself, of how I'm showing up in the world, how I come off. I'm an introvert to the core, I notice a lot of introverts may come off as mean. We're not mean. I'm realizing that I get social anxiety. When I'm around a lot of people I don't know, I get social anxiety. I would be like a hermit. I'll stay in my little corner. But at the same time, I like interacting with people. But I also like my space. So I notice a lot of introverts may have anxiety, social anxiety. But we're not mean. My intentions are not meant to come off as mean. I just want you to get to the point of, why are you in my space? That's basically why. And I may come off antisocial, but I'm not. But anyway, that's all I wanted to come on here and talk about. Again, if y'all can, get this book. It's a really good book. I think it's just a good read overall. And if it hits you the way that it hit me, then have at it. Another good one is Emotional Intelligence. Really good book to understand your emotions, how to handle your emotions, how to express your emotions, how to be aware of your emotions. Yeah, I'm definitely oh my goodness, yes, I am. Very much, Amber. Very much. 5 Love Languages is definitely a good book to understand how you receive love and also how you give love. I think being aware of these things will allow you to advocate to yourself, but also the person you're dating or with, how you receive love at the end of the day. I think those are great tools to have. Yeah, I'm definitely empath. Definitely. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to come on here and talk about. It's gonna be short and sweet. I need UPS to call me back. So they were supposed to deliver my package yesterday, right? They ain't delivered. I saw the UPS truck just drive by. A couple of minutes later, I get a notification. Oh, we attempt to deliver your package. No, you didn't. You didn't even get out the truck. So now I got to inconvenience myself and go pick up this package, which is not okay. And this is the second day. So I'm a little frustrated with them, but it is what it is. So I'm going to get off here so they can call. Hopefully, I'm going to just do some more digging. I'll update y'all on a date I went on yesterday. A very beautiful date. Very beautiful date. We definitely have a lot of things in line with each other, which I'm very grateful for. We have the same thought pattern. I like that we're parallel. It's not often that I can meet somebody that's parallel with me in this dating experience, as far as mentality, goals, ambitions, morals in life. So I'm looking forward to see where it go. I honestly think that it will be more of a business venture than a relationship. Okay, post a picture of these books. I will. So yeah, I'm learning as I date new people to pray before I go on these dates. Something you think that you would do as a Christian. I didn't think of it until a friend told me that she does this prayer every time before she goes on a date. And I didn't even think to do it. But yeah, I pray before I go on these dates, and I ask God to reveal to me, what is the purpose of this relationship? What is the purpose of me interacting with this person, just so I'm not falling for somebody that I'm supposed to be in business for, and vice versa. So just after that last situation, I just want clarity on why somebody is in my life and why I'm in their life at the end of the day. Like I said, I don't want to be catching feelings for someone that's possibly supposed to be a business partner, or somebody I'm supposed to minister to, or somebody I'm supposed to mentor. So definitely be prayerful before you go out on these dates, especially in these times and days, which are crazy. I actually went to the mall yesterday. I know I'm going all over the place, but I went to the mall yesterday, and the feeling I had walking through the mall was just so unsettling, especially after that young man was shot and killed at the mall. Like, security was on 10. Like, there was security guards, police officers walking around with AK-47s. I'm like, this is the mall. We're supposed to do shopping. This is a place for families. And I never really feel settled at the mall. But this particular time yesterday, I was like, I'm just really here to walk off this food I just ate, and I'm just out. But it's sad that so many things that are meant for family outings, we can't even do anymore because of the times that we are living in. So be prayerful before you go out your house today, y'all. Enjoy your day. And remember, be bold, be blessed, be beautiful, be you. I'll post the pictures in the comments. Y'all have a good day.